I don't know what to do.
All right, give me 1 second.
I always wanted to start something like that. I don't know what to do.
Help.
I'm absolutely lost. Hello. Welcome to the official Columbus Comedy Festival podcast called Los Mid Dudes. My co-host isn't here because he's tragically hungover, so I'll be flying solo today. Apologies, that's a lie. He's actually very, very sick with actual illness, not just, alcoholism, I swear. Anyway, we're the official podcast of the Columbus Comedy Festival, which is one of the greatest events here in Columbus that brings together comedians from all over the country, perform at the various venues here, and brings the extra laughs that are much needed today to the Columbus market. We have a very, very special guest here today, the guy who started it all, the guy who created the hula hoop. It's no, wait, it's not the hula hoop, is it? It's the kazoo. No, it's not the kazoo. Ball and jacks. Not ball and the frisbee. Frisbee. The guy who created the frisbee and the Columbus Comedy Festival itself, Walker Evans.
Thank you, Irv. Happy to be here. I have to say, though, it's very much team effort. My wife is involved. She's the other half of Columbus Underground, so been very instrumental in the comedy festival, as well as Danielle, our events director, and of course, like all the venues, all the folks, all the comics. Yeah, so I can't take all the credit.
You could. I mean, we live in that kind of
age.
We live in that kind of age. You could just be the czar of this.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't happen without everybody pitching in, so yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. That's everything in comedy works that way. And except for now, even stand-up specials work that way. It's like the comedian's on stage, but it takes a mountain of people to get everything to work.
Yes, our end credits are very long with the comedy festival. Yeah.
I'd just like to do a special where all the end credits are me, where it's just like Ervin Ross. And
we'll do that at the end of the podcast.
Right. Best boy, best grip,
yeah,
best gripping boy grips. Why are there so many grips on boys? Like all that, just listing Ervin Ross.
Nice.
So, what made you start and get together with your group to start the Columbus Comedy Festival?
Yeah. I know there have been other comedy festivals in Columbus in the past that have kind of come and gone. Whiskey Bear. I think there was another one just called kind of the generic Columbus Comedy Festival, or along those lines. But it all kind of died out, before the pandemic, and the whole world kind of shut down for a hot minute. But I kind of feel like since we've kind of come out of the pandemic, the comedy scene here has been really thriving. We've had new venues open, like the Attic and Hashtags Comedy Club. We're recording here at Boxland, and they do comedy events. There's a lot more pop-ups. There's the Don't Tell scene that has really come online here in Columbus, and it's one of the best, if not the best, in the country.
I've been to a few, and they have phenomenal shows.
Yeah. I mean, they're constantly selling out. The Funny Bone still going strong. So it really feels like something sort of special for me as a comedy fan. It's been great. Like, I have my choice of what to go see and do, and so through Columbus Underground, our main company, my wife and I run an online news publication. We actually do some event production. We do a large scale coffee festival, which is celebrating 10 years this year. And so about 2 years ago, we kind of sat down and thought about like what would a comedy festival look like. So that's kind of the genesis. That's sort of the short answer. But we really wanted to create something that there's a lot of other comedy festivals around the country, and we could just sort of like pick it up and rubber stamp the same model. But we thought it'd be kind of interesting to do something a little more unique to Columbus, where we as Columbus Underground run the comedy festival as a whole, and we program a couple of venues underneath it, but then we have other venue partners that have different spaces, and we're like, what if they can kind of do their own thing their own way? We can all collaborate on performers and show times, and kind of share some resources, and we all collectively market everything as one big festival. But it allows the Funny Bone to do their thing their own way. It allows the Attic to do their own thing their own way. It allows the Nest to do their own thing their own way. And we're not programming their shows for them. We're also not taking in their money. So try and create something that's sort of a bit of a hybrid where everybody stands to win.
Right, it's collective with autonomy.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I think there's advantages to that system. The disadvantage is that people apply to be a part of the festival, and then we've got like 7 people booking out of that pool, and so there can be a little bit of like crossed wires with some of the performers. They're like, wait, you asked me to do this show on Wednesday, and that person asked me to do the show on Thursday. Like, this is different and weird. And it's like, yeah, no, it's all the same thing.
Right.
And we're going to promote all of it. Yeah. So there's some communication stuff that just needs to happen. And we're only in year 2. So I think people get used to it as we go.
Right.
Yeah. But I like the model because it seems like everybody gets to play nice in the sandbox. And
it is. And it's like, it should be a collective effort. Like, instead of, like you said, rubber stamping it, Columbus is a very unique place.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big city that doesn't feel like a big city. And
Yeah.
it never should feel like a big city. It's, surrounded by open expanses of land.
Yeah. And if we were just programming, this year we're doing shows at Mad Lab and the Upfront Space at Shadowbox and the Maroon Culture Lab, which is the former Pythian Theater on the Near East Side. And if all we did was just that and we excluded all the venue partners, then we would be competing against the Funny Bone and the Attic and the Nest and Don't Tell. And that would just feel weird to me, for it to be sort of like, hey, don't go do the normal comedy stuff this weekend. Come to our thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like inclusivity is way better of an idea, especially for something like a whole festival.
Yeah.
And it would also be weird to be exclusive and comedy at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you could have your dream top 3 headliners come to the festival.
Yeah.
This could be year 10. This could be any time during this, during the whole of the Columbus Comedy Festival's soon to be amazing run.
Yeah.
Who would be your top 3 dream comedians?
That's tough. I mean, because there's obviously like the gigantic names, that it's like, okay, well, we need an arena for that person.
Right.
I a lot of the comedians that I really like and watch a ton of in my spare time are kind of smaller acts, or medium size, I would say. They kind of come through, and we've managed to have a couple of them already. I'm super excited to have Jeffrey Osmus at the festival this year. He's crushing. He's one of my personal favorites. We have Sam Talent this year.
Yes.
Who's another
good.
personal favorite. Yeah. I would love to have Jordan Jensen.
Okay.
Yeah, I met her. She was at the Funny Bone, I think, it was right after last year's festival. It was like October, and I talked to her afterwards. But I think she's kind of gotten a little bit bigger outside of our budget and like scope and scale. She performed at the Funny Bone and sold it out. So. We had Ian Fidance in our first year. He was a pretty big get. I really like Ian. Jeremiah Watkins we had in our first year. So I guess I'm not really answering the question of the dream stuff. I've been really excited just about who we've been able to get so far. I would say a bigger act that would be great to have is Josh Johnson.
Okay.
But I know he's like playing huge venues and just crushing and selling out everywhere. But the way that he sort of redefined specials on YouTube, I don't know if you watch his stuff.
I have.
Yeah, I mean he's putting out a new like 45-minute bit like every week.
It's just a wave. Like you're like, oh man, this is kind of, it's brilliant.
Yeah, so he's great, and being a 45-year-old elder millennial, a lot of the stuff I grew up on in the like late 80s and into the 90s, kind of the alternative comics, the David Cross, Patton Oswalt, Sarah Silverman. I'd love to have maybe some of those kinds of names in the future, because a lot of them still do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've moved on to TV and movies and voice acting and other things, but I think some of those would be great to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another big get in year 1 was Michael Ian Black.
Yeah,
I grew up watching the State and then Viva Variety and Reno 911 and like Party Down and all of the like state associated sort of stuff. So
right.
Yeah, getting more of them would be great too. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? Who would you like to see?
Oh, I'd love to see a Mr. Show reunion. I'd love to see David and Bob just at any venue here, just crushing a live show.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff too, and I feel like it's the sort of thing you see at like the South by Southwest comedy, or like Netflix as a joke can pull that sort of stuff off because they have like an unlimited
money. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's been a couple state reunions. Anytime you can get like a large group of people that have spread out across the country, and getting them their schedules to align is pretty huge. I mean, I would love to have like a Tim and Eric reunion.
Tim and Eric would be amazing.
Yeah,
it would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I mean, because I continue to follow both of them. I watch Office Hours, the show that Tim does with Doug Pound and Vic Berger, but also like all of Eric's food stuff. the wine business, and it's great. But seeing them back in the day on Adult Swim was very formative.
Oh yeah,
like alt comedy, weird oddball humor. Love it.
I absolutely love it myself. It's,
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the goal too with the festival, because it's not really just about like my personal taste. Like,
right,
we're trying to provide a little bit of something for everyone, and so stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, improv comedy, variety shows. We've got Chad the Bird coming back, which is a sort of R-rated puppet show, which hilarious. Again, like great social media following. Chad's really been blowing up, and we had them at the first festival last year, and they had a really good time. And so when I was like, "Hey, do you want to come back?" They're like, "Definitely, let's do it again."
Yeah,
so,
why wouldn't they? I mean, it's especially from last year. It was a great time. I was there last year. I witnessed some magic, absolute magic at the festival, and that's why I'm looking forward to it so much this year.
Yeah.
What is it? September 4th through the 7th.
4th through the 7th, yeah. And we have literal magic this year. Michael Kent is going to be doing a show here at Boxland, and then magician Hannawell is doing a show at the Attic. So again, it's just cool to have more diversity in the lineup in terms of show types and styles. We've got one show that's just going to be all crowd work. So like if you like seeing the crowd work clips on social media, like come get made fun of by some killer crowd work comedians. We've got a live taping show. There's like live podcast recordings. So yeah,
nice, very nice,
something for everyone.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, switching gears for a split second.
Sure.
You just got back from Japan.
Yeah, did.
So as a huge fan of any vacationing that is just to a country where the food and the culture just blend seamlessly and magnificently.
Yeah.
What was Japan like?
It's really cool. I had always wanted to go. My dad worked for a Japanese company when I was a kid, but I never got to go over there. So my wife and my two kids and I all went for 2 full weeks, and it's kind of weird. It's a little like an alternate dimension. We stayed in a lot of the bigger cities, Tokyo and Kyoto and Osaka, and Tokyo is gigantic, but like all of the buildings are a little bit smaller than what, like compared to like going to New York or something.
Right.
Yeah. You walk by a building and it might be 15 stories tall, but it's, 50 feet wide and 100 feet deep. And so it kind of feels like if you're building stuff with Legos and then you get like another set that's like not quite Legos, it's like a different kind and the pieces don't really fit together, but you can build similar things. Yeah. It's really weird. In a good way. And it feels very, it's chaotic in that, there's people and movement and trains and, tunnels and bridges and like everything feels very on top of each other. But there's also like unspoken rules and like order to the chaos. Like everyone is still very polite and you don't hear cars honking their horns constantly like you do in a big city. So it's like controlled chaos, which is kind of cool. And you walk down the street and it's like, oh, here's a ramen shop and it's right next door to an apartment building, and then that's next door to like a factory, and then that's next door to a school, and then like the zoning is just there is no zoning.
So it's like a 15-minute city. Everything's within a short walk.
Yeah, we walked everywhere. We took trains and stuff like that. But it's super cool and just a really interesting mix of a lot of Japan feels like it was built between 1965 and 1995. So it's got a very like 70s, 80s, 90s aesthetic. But then, you walk around the corner in this alley and there's like a 300-year-old temple that's just like in the middle of the block. And they built around it. But the little like worship site is still there. So
just with no view.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like, cool, let's look at the back of a building.
Yeah, but on your lunch break, you can pop down there and, write a little note and tie it to a structure. And
really?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we did spend some time outside of the cities, kind of going up into some of the mountain, this sort of like national park, so to speak, kind of places, and see some temples and waterfalls and woods and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I hear there's, what are they, the macaques, the bathing monkeys in Japan? Where the mountain the mountain spas, and I'm like, oh.
We went to a monkey park where you can feed them, and
sounds incredibly racist.
you have to hike up to the top of the hill, but it's fun. I mean, there's also like deer park and like places where you can.
Oh,
it's almost like a petting zoo.
So they just keep the animals out of the city, and they're just like, you get your own park, you get your own
Exactly.
park.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. It's fun. The food's great. If you can stomach the long plane flight to get there, we flew out of Dallas, and so it was like 11 hours to Tokyo. But the exchange rate's really good. So once you're there, like everything is cheaper. Like food is cheaper. It feels like, I mean, you go to New York and everything's more expensive, and you go there and it's like this food is cheaper than Columbus.
Really?
Yeah.
Note to self: move to Japan, become sumo wrestler.
I had some of the best sushi that I've ever had. Like made, you place your order on a little iPad, and the chef is just like standing right there, making it by hand and just like placing it over the counter.
Piece by piece, yeah.
Yeah, in front of you, and it's like, this is amazing. And it was like $6.50.
I've always thought, like sushi, especially, something that's, artfully crafted like that, should be served by individual piece. Because, it's whenever you go to like, a sushi restaurant here and you see like they give you like a platter with like 4 or 5 different rolls on it, you're like you can't appreciate any of it before it gets room temperature.
Right.
But I'm like, piece by piece, you're like, it's like an art.
Yeah. It's just wild because it's like, I know that California rolls from Kroger are like $8.
Yeah, that is insanity.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, that guy kind of looks Japanese, so I'm like, I'm at least okay there. I'm like, you know what? That's me, maybe.
Right.
His name's Larry, but whatever. Maybe I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I recommend going if you can. I mean, we saved up some money, and my brother-in-law lives there, so we're able to meet up with him and
okay.
It's a little family reunion time.
Nice,
as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully in the future I can make that trip. My first plan though is Thailand.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, Buddhist temples.
Yes.
100% for Buddhist temples.
Nice. Yeah.
Go get some peace.
Just don't stay at a White Lotus resort while you're there.
What is that? What's a White Lotus resort? Is that
the show White Lotus?
Oh yeah, yes. No. I get that part.
Oh, okay.
But are those real things?
No. I think they film all those at the Four Seasons.
Oh, so it's even worse. It is the actual Four Seasons.
Yeah.
Explains why.
They're super fancy and nice. I just meant, people get killed at White Lotus hotels on a pretty regular basis.
People get killed at Motel 6. It's fine. It's not going to stop me from selling crack there.
Right.
I'm a gentleman, first and foremost.
Nice.
Very cool. So, tell us about Columbus Underground. Because I read the publication. I'm a big fan. I've always been more into even digital or print, but it's like written word.
Yeah.
It's people get their news and clip it's on YouTube or, for God forbid, TikTok.
Yeah.
And like people are like, that's real, right? And you're like, no, please stop looking.
It's all AI slop.
Yeah, this is for children, and it's not. It's even worse for them for some reason.
Yeah.
But
my wife and I started Columbus Underground in 2001, 24 years ago. It's kind of our first child, so to speak. But we started it at a time. If you think back, my go-to joke is that internet years are kind of like dog years.
Oh yeah.
So 24 years ago on the internet is like a century ago when you
yeah.
It's
where nobody smiled and you can't show ankle.
Right.
Man, it's crazy.
There was no OnlyFans. But this is before MySpace, let alone Facebook.
I know.
Yeah.
Tom was a baby.
So, the internet was great for like looking up things on Wikipedia or finding national news. But if you wanted like a local restaurant recommendation, like that sort of thing was impossible to find.
Right.
So we kind of started it. We were 21 when we started it, so it was a lot more focused on just like fun things to do, food, drink, movies, music, like where to go see local bands or a DJ night or karaoke or something. But over time, as it started to build a little bit of a following and grew, and we started to learn a little bit more about Columbus. We'd only been in Columbus for a couple of years. It started to grow into more of a news resource where we wanted to know, hey, what's going on with this new development, or what's going on with this neighborhood committee, having a meeting. So as our interest grew, kind of the scope and scale of it grew, and we kind of transitioned from what was sort of a little sort of hobby, kind of part-time thing into a full-time business, and we were able to hire some reporters and a sales team and an events team. So it's just been a very slow organic growth, one of those overnight successes that takes 24 years to get to. But we love doing it. Journalism is not a growth industry in the world by any stretch. So
right.
We're cool doing what we're doing. We're fine. We'd be happy doing this for the rest of our lives. We're never going to become billionaires doing it. But it feels good to like know that Columbus is a city that can support, an organization like this, and kind of get behind what's really a pretty rare thing, which is fully locally owned and operated journalism. It doesn't exist a lot anymore. But being able to provide a kind of an alternative voice and kind of focus on the things that we find to be interesting and important. Because when you turn on the local TV news, and this isn't a diss to any stations in Columbus, because I think this is true of like every market in America, your nightly news is murder, fires, car crashes, and then sports and weather. Right.
Yes.
So you go to bed every night.
And then occasionally a squirrel story.
Yeah.
Sprinkled in little like, and look at this bunny.
Yeah. A cat got stuck in a tree and got rescued. But you go to bed every night just thinking your city sucks because all the news is just like, it's kind of like rubbernecking, sort of fear mongering kind of stuff. And we're like, let's write about this new art gallery that opened. Let's talk about this like band that has a big show. Let's talk about this small business, this coffee shop that's expanding and growing. So not trying to shy away from like the very real issues that a city like Columbus faces, but make sure that we're not overlooking the actual good things and the unique things, the culture, that makes our city important. Because if you just live here, in a generic apartment complex and eat Chipotle, you DoorDash Chipotle and you order everything off Amazon, like, are you really living in Columbus, or are you, that's like Nowheresville kind of stuff?
It's wild to me that people DoorDash Chipotle.
Yeah.
Like, how much more cold do you want your food to be? Like, it's already cold the moment you walk out the door when you buy it fresh.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you get to the car, it's like 50 degrees. You're like, oh, great. How did this happen? It was.
Hopefully this episode of this podcast is not sponsored by DoorDash or Chipotle.
It's cool. I eat at Chipotle very rarely, and I still have quite a few DoorDash credits. So
Yeah.
Go ahead and come after me, big guys.
Apologies. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool things going on in the city, especially if you know where to look. And so we try and be that resource of, being a place that kind of helps you know where to look to find, the thing that you want to get involved in. And I've said this for a long time, that the thing that I really do love about Columbus is that it's a big enough city to where there's always stuff going on, but it's also a small enough city that it's like easy to connect and get involved. Mm-hmm. No matter what you're into, all you have to do is raise your hand and say, hey, can I be a part of this? And generally people are like, the more the merrier. You get on board. There's not a lot of like gatekeepers for things. I'm sure there's some. I'm kind of generalizing a little bit, but I feel like this is a city, like if you want to do something, just, dive in, jump in.
Yeah,
start
absolutely.
Doing. Yeah.
You know what I'd love to see one day is a comedy special taped live from the zoo.
From the zoo?
From the Columbus Zoo.
Where in the zoo? Because the zoo's gigantic.
Oh, it'd have to be somewhere where there'd be like slight disruptions, like the chimpanzee or bonobo exhibit, where there's just a little bit of background noise, and you're like, "What the hell's going on over there?"
Yeah. So who's going to record this special? Which?
Ooh, I don't know. That's
local comedian or?
Oh, it'd have to be local because nobody else would go into the zoo. They'd be like, "Nah, man, it smells terrible there at all times of day."
They have done some comedy events there.
Really?
Yeah. Like during some of their larger, sort of like festivals and fundraisers and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So good, man. I've always been like, man, it would be hilarious to see like a live comedy taping, like a Netflix special tape from the Columbus Zoo.
Yeah.
And just like an animal runs across the stage at random, as zookeepers like.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I still need to watch. Dan Seabury just released his.
Oh my goodness!
Special
Yes.
That he recorded at Hashtag, and so it's been on my to-do list. I think it came out like right as we were coming home from Japan, and he had a little watch party. But it's been doing really well. I saw he was sharing. It's got a couple thousand views on YouTube already. So.
Oh yeah, no, he's amazing. Yeah. He's phenomenal. I ran into him. I think. I mean, besides the times you ran into him here, but I ran into him in Cleveland at a Don't Tell show.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
With him and TJ Miller, and it was just a phenomenal show. Because I mean, he's just amazingly great.
Yeah. We have some really great local talent. That we're excited, to have back in the lineup. Travis Haywisher, crazy funny. Dan Seabury, mentioned him. Nikki Winkleman,
Henry Allen,
Neff Johnson. I mean the list can go on and on and on.
Right, it does. There's just so much. It's so interesting in a city like Columbus. It's because you live in like different places like New York, L.A., Chicago, all that. You're used to seeing amazing amounts of talent in one place.
Yeah.
But you come here and you realize there's so much comedic talent in this city.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how did all this develop so underground? And it's almost like nobody is taking that big notice of it like they should.
Yeah, yeah. And that's part of the goal of the festival, I would say. That we one of the first things you have to do is like write out a mission statement. And I don't remember the exact verbiage, but part of it is to paint a larger, national, awareness of Columbus as a comedy city, so that when bigger names like a Josh Johnson is on tour, he doesn't just go, or his booking, his agents, his management doesn't just say, oh, we'll do a Cleveland show and a Columbus, or a Cleveland and a Cincinnati show, and those will be our 2 Ohio stops. And you skip Columbus, and it's like, well, we're a growing city, we're a young city.
Right.
But
It's like, do you want to get shot or shot? How about you stop in one place you might not get shot?
Cleveland and Cincinnati are great comedy cities, and they've got, maybe more history and infrastructure around it. But I feel like, we have a market here in Columbus, and it shouldn't be ignored. And so building that up is part of the goal. But then the flip side of it is also to convince people to go out more and support the local scene on a 365-day basis.
Right.
With the coffee festival that we do, we get a lot of people. And last year we had just shy of 9,000 attendees over the 2 days. So it's turned into a really big festival. And a lot of the average, kind of consumer facing person that comes to the coffee festival, they're like, oh, I love coffee. I've got a shirt on. It says, don't talk to me until after I've had my coffee. And I got my mug. And,
right.
And it's like, well, what's your favorite thing? And they tell you their Starbucks order. And it's like, not to like,
nope.
talk down on that, but it's like, but they come to the coffee festival and they're like, oh, I tried Crimson Cup. I tried Stoff's. I tried Brioso for the first time. I tried One Line. I tried, Jennings Java, and they find something they really like, and they're like, oh, that's that cool place in Marion Village. I don't live too far, or I work close to that. I'm going to try it out instead of going to Starbucks.
Right.
I'm going to try that new thing that I learned about during the coffee festival, or I'm going to buy a bag of beans and make it at home. And so, getting them to the festival is one thing, but then like that long tail of getting them to consider making the switch to local alternatives that might even taste better.
Right.
And they get to know the person that's actually roasting their coffee,
Which is a big thing, because it might just be a maniac somewhere in a hut. like right.
Or, I mean, you're going through the drive-through at Starbucks, so or Tim Hortons or whatever. Yeah. And I mean, you're not really making a connection to it. And so I think that's part of the goal with the comedy festival is that, you get more people out who would normally go to a show because they're like, oh, it's a festival. I'm going to grab some friends. We're going to grab dinner before, drinks after, and we're going to go have a good time. But then they go see Henry Allen or Neff Johnson or Hannah Romes. And they're like, oh, this person's really funny, and I had a great time.
Oh, yeah.
And I could go see them again next month, or I could go see someone else, or I could come back to the Nest that I've never been to, and all of a sudden I'm a fan of it now. So, that's kind of like the 10-year vision, but like making it where people think of comedy the same way they think of like, oh, it's Friday night, I'm going to go watch the game at the sports bar and have a drink.
Yeah.
Instead be like, oh, I'm going to go to a comedy show. I'm going to go to a Don't
and
Tell
have a
show.
drink. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the other goal is to build Columbus up more as a comedy city, because we've got the talent. I think the audience isn't always there, just because it's not top of mind.
Well, it's because what is it? The common saying everywhere else is that Ohio's like a flyover state, where you're like, we're going through here to go somewhere else, and you're like, no, it's not. There's a lot of great things here.
Yeah.
And I'm a little partial. I was born and raised here, but there are a lot of great things here. And like you said, the comedy scene is phenomenal.
Yeah. And I mean, you ask the average person, do you like to laugh? They're like, well, yeah. And you ask about comedy, and they're like, I've watched clips of Matt Rife on TikTok or whatever, it's like cool, but you could get off your couch and go see someone else.
Try doing this live. It's so much weirder.
and a lot of times the shows are $5, $10, $15, $20, if you're going out on like a Friday or Saturday, it might be a $20 show at Hashtag or the Attic or something. But these aren't like expensive. You don't have to pay $150 to go see Bill Burr at Nationwide Arena.
One of my most fun things to do is I'll drop in on an open mic. Just like I'm not expecting a Chappelle level craziness, but you will hear some gold, absolute gold from people just getting up there, being as brave as they can, trying out their jokes. then you'll get people who are seasoned at it who come in just dropping and trying new material.
Yeah.
And I love those moments. Those are my absolute favorites.
Kudos to you. I don't go to open mics.
Okay, so to be fair, I'm also very backwards when it comes to coffee. Like if I'm at home, it's the full works. I've got 2 French presses, and I'll get them going. Like I have my syrups, I have my different various creamers. I'll do everything. If I go to like a Crimson Cup, it's a pour over with nothing in it.
Right.
I'm like, give me that Sumatra and pour over. Don't put a thing in it.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm not trying to be a coffee. I mean, I'm drinking Red Bull right now. So how much of a caffeine snob can I really be? But no. With open mics, I basically just tell people, I don't want to. If there's a band I like, I don't want to go watch them practice. I want to go to their show.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, you want to see the polished version.
Yeah, I want to see the end result. Yeah, especially because open mics, the few that I've been to, Hannah has talked me into going to Summit # because they do have a really nice. It's Friday nights, I think. Starts at 10.
That one feels different than like a Bossy Girl open mic
because it is in a comedy, like a dedicated comedy venue, and it's a Friday night, so I think they maybe get a little bit higher of a caliber than someone.
It's
going
more tailored to be
Yeah, well, and the audience is a little more there for it.
They really are.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of open mics are in like bars, and so you might just get like people sitting at the bar completely ignoring the comedy and just like talking the whole time.
I've seen it. That's one of the most brutal moments ever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. They're like, can you turn the game up so I drown out these morons in the corner?
Right. I mean, and I've done stand up in those. I've done open mics and they're just like, oh, great. There's like 6 people looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. They're drunk. You're like, this is going to go great.
But the hashtag mic does feel a little bit different. I've gone, I think, twice. But the thing that you'll get someone who comes up who's just practicing material and they're doing a great job, and there's someone that's been doing it for years, and then you get someone coming up doing it for the first time ever, and you're just and you feel so bad for them. It's that like secondhand embarrassment sort of thing, like if they're tanking, which they often do, because it's no one's good at anything on their first try.
No, hold on now. Let's hold on. I remember very vividly.
Yeah.
I did my first time ever doing stand-up. Like, not even open mics here or anything. I had just moved to Los Angeles, and I've always been one of those where I'm like, shoot for the moon. Shoot for the absolute moon. See what's the worst that can happen. Fail, you're going to fail regardless. Shoot for the moon. I did my first ever stand-up at an open mic at the Comedy Store.
Wow.
I was like, let me see how bad could it be.
Yeah, jumping in the deep end of the pool.
And I crushed.
Wow.
I crushed, and that same night I got invited to do a show at the Comedy Store in the main room.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know how that happened, but it worked. And that's actually the same night I ran into one of the comedians that's going to be here for the festival, Pauly Shore.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Same night. Ran into him out back of the back of the club, and I was like, I don't know how this actually worked. I crushed on my first go. And then I did the main room show. Had a great show.
Yeah.
I threw baby carrots at a heckler. I don't know why I had a bunch of baby carrots in my pocket, but I threw them at a heckler. There's a bunch of girls up front that were just making all this noise the whole show, and I was like, I'm going to fix this when I go out there. And I did, just pelting.
Yeah.
Some people call that assault, but I think for art it's allowed.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd cheered because they were like, finally, these girls stopped talking.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And then I bombed my third show, and I was like, I don't want to do this now.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's an interesting format. And I know a lot of people prefer things like sketch and improv because it's more of a team effort sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a stand-up, you're up there alone, and so if it goes well, you have no one to thank but yourself. But if it goes poor, you have no one to blame.
No one to blame but yourself.
Yeah. So it's fun, but again, going to like the actual shows. I mean, some of the Don't Tell shows I've been to, absolute crush.
Yeah, you feel like you're sitting in a Netflix special. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm in a tape special right now. This is the greatest show I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah. I think I've given everyone a shout out who's in the lineup. I don't think I mentioned Leisure Club yet.
Yep.
They do a pretty regular, I think monthly series of comedy shows, but they're going to have multiple shows during the festival lineup. I think I mentioned everybody else.
Well, that's fair.
Funny Bone, Attic, hashtag Nest, Don't Tell, Boxland, Leisure Club. I think that's all 7 of the venue partners. So come to shows at all of them.
Come to every single show.
Yeah.
Even the ones that are at the same time. figured out.
We've talked about, we still have a few months to figure this out, but we talked about this last year too, and I just wasn't able to figure out the logistics of it because we had 1,000 other things to think about. But we wanted to put together some sort of maybe like little punch card system or something where during the festival, if you come to at least 5 different venues, you get like a prize for kind of like making the rounds and kind of showing that diversity. It might be hard to come to like something at all. I mean, because there's 7 venue partners and then we're programming 3 others. So you'd have to come to 10 shows in 4 days. It might be hard to do them all, but if you at least do it like 5.
Maybe if you do like even swag, like Columbus Comedy Festival T-shirts, hats or something. You go to 5 shows, you get T-shirt and hat sent to you.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be a really cool incentive, good memory.
So stay tuned. We might get that figured out.
Yeah.
by September. Yeah, it's just because the whole festival is so a la carte.
Yeah.
Like if you bought a ticket to a show at the Funny Bone, and then you buy a ticket to hashtag, it's through each of those ticketing platforms. So then I've got to somehow collect all the data from all of them. And I don't want to get into like the privacy side of it, but how do we just make sure that, we've accounted,
right.
Irv went to a show here, a show here, a show here, a show here.
Yeah, because I'm usually sneaking in the shows anyway. I'm just like hanging out in the green room like, no, I'm not really here for the show.
Eating all the olives.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Seriously. And up front, we've got to talk about this olive situation again.
Yeah.
I went to Studio 35 the other night for my friend Travis and I do a show called So Bad It's Good, where we make fun
I've heard of these.
We make fun of you. We have. We make fun of movies live, a la Mystery Science Theater 3000, but with way, way, way more reckless regard for the jokes. So, and I love that because it's like, I've always loved Mystery Science Theater, but it's like, it's like edited, and it's like, this is the kid-friendly version.
Yeah.
Nope, I like the adult-friendly. Make fun of this thing. It's meant to be made fun of.
Right, yeah. No, those have been a lot of fun. I think I've been to maybe 4 or 5 of them. I will say the most recent one, Con Air, fun movie, but it's so fast-paced.
It really is.
It's that like 90s era like action movie.
Well, it's because they threw like 7 celebrities in one film. It's like that. What was that? That Valentine's Day movie where they're like, throw 80 A-listers in one film.
Yeah,
there's no plot.
Right. but it was so fast paced and loud that I felt like there wasn't a lot of like quiet moments for like the jokes to come through. Whereas if you're watching an old like horror movie from the 70s, there's entire like 4-minute chunks where like no one says anything except like opening a creaking door and be like, hello. Yeah. So, I think I like the older movies better.
Same.
Yeah, Troll 2 was a lot of fun.
Troll 2 was hilarious because it's just Troll 2.
The Chuck Norris movie, Invasion USA.
Invasion USA.
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot of fun. He was a Florida man.
So yes, if you're here in Columbus, usually every couple months we do a thing called So Bad It's Good at Studio 35 on Indianola. You get to come watch me, my friend Travis, and some cool local Columbus comedians destroy movies. And there's like a bar and like pizza.
Yeah.
And it's usually fun.
And it starts at 11 at night. So it's like a late night,
yes.
kind of movie outing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And if 11's too late for you, just don't come, I guess. If that's the way, just get some sleep, I guess.
Just take a nap earlier in the day. Yeah.
Take a nap, come on.
Yeah.
Pretend you're 20 again. We've all stayed up till 11. Come on.
Yeah. It's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. Okay. But because I love asking everybody this, in the vein of comedy, embarrassing story.
An embarrassing story that I have?
Yes, because embarrassing stories are always like not one that's traumatic, of course.
Yeah. I have one that's both.
Yes. Yes. This is what I was hoping for.
A couple of years ago, I want to say it was like 2021. I crashed my bike because I hit a Canadian goose or Canada goose, however you say it, on the bike trail. How's that for embarrassing and traumatic? And I avoid these things now. Like I won't.
An airborne animal on the ground is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, so foolishly, we were doing some home renovations at the time, and we had one of those rental boxes, that you put in your driveway, so you can put all your stuff in it, so they could work on the house.
Oh, I like those pod things.
Yeah, like a little pod, like outdoor storage. Yeah, and I had put a bunch of stuff in there, including my bike helmet, because it was like wintertime, but everything took longer, so like my stuff was still in there when the spring arrived. and a group of friends wanted to go on a bike ride. So I'm like getting my bike out and trying to find the bike pump, and I'm like, I couldn't find my helmet, and I'm like, I think it's in the storage thing, like in the back and the bottom. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't crashed my bike in 20 years. I don't need the helmet. We're just going down the bike trail. This is a casual ride. We're not even riding in the street or anything, so whatever. So went on this ride without my helmet. We rode like 8 miles down the trail.
Sheesh.
And as we're riding, I was riding with my friend Mike and talking and stuff. And all of a sudden, this goose just like suicide bomber out of the bushes ran straight at my front tire. And I have a road bike, so the tires, are only like an inch thick. So I hit this thing, and it's like hitting a dog or something. It's like a 15-pound animal, 20 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
It was an adult. And this was in the spring, too, I should say. So they're all like kind of extra pissy because they have babies and eggs. And
they are.
Yeah. More so than normal. But this thing just basically ran straight out, and I had no time to dodge, and I hit it. And I immediately start wobbling, and then I flipped over the handlebars and came down on the asphalt. And thankfully, I like didn't put my hand down, because you can like break a wrist pretty easily. But I hit my shoulder and kind of rolled, and my head snapped.
Oh no!
And hit the asphalt, and immediately started just gushing blood. Because like a head, you split your scalp a little bit.
Yeah, it's done at that point.
So thankfully, I didn't black out or no fear of a concussion or anything, but. I had 2 T-shirts, and I like took one of them off, and I was trying to wrap it around the wound, but we all kind of stood around for a little bit. The goose was gone too. Thankfully, it wasn't like pecking at me or anything.
He
biting.
Just got up and was like,
I don't know if it like
kept it moving,
flew into the river or something, but it was gone. The bike wasn't, it was a little scratched. But after a few minutes of like, do we go to the hospital? Do we call an Uber to get you home? I'm like, I think I can get back to the car. Mm-hmm. So we all rode the 8 miles back, and I got in my car and I went home, and I told my wife like, hey, I'm going to need you to like pour some hydrogen peroxide on my head over the shower. And she started to do that, and she's like not enjoying of blood. So she's like, I don't think this is working. She's like, you need to go to the like urgent care. So I went, and they put 7 staples in my head to like close it up. They're like, the skin is too thin to do stitches, so just staples, chunk.
It's too thin, but you're like, yeah, but there's skull.
Yeah.
Underneath there's bone.
Yeah.
You should probably.
but they confirmed, no concussion. Thankfully, because I took the impact.
Yeah, you take the brunt.
Yeah. And the wound on my head, I have a scar on kind of the top back of my head from it. But you don't put like a bandage on it. So it looked like a zombie bite. Like after 2 days, like, the blood, kind of turns black and green.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like standing in the line at the grocery store, and people behind me are like, oh my God, what is that? But the worst pain of it was just like, I felt like my ribs were bruised. Like it felt like somebody punched me in the chest.
Oh yeah. I've gone over handlebars.
Yeah. So and anytime I'm on the bike trail and I'm riding and I see like a gaggle of those geese, I'm like, I'm going to detour and go around.
Yeah,
I don't even go anywhere near them.
Second Amendment right is all about, sir. State of Ohio is very liberal on their gun laws.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be meant for these.
Yeah.
If not them, for the deer.
Yeah. Just get a little machine gun mounted on the front of the bike.
Right. A little just payback time.
Does that work as an embarrassing?
It works absolutely.
Traumatic story. Yes. Hit a goose, not intentional, but those things suck.
That's fair enough. Mine was not even as good as that. I was going to say a couple years ago I was marching in the Doodah parade.
Yeah. Oh, can I interrupt real quick?
Yes.
I've worn my helmet every single time I've ridden my bike since then.
See, then it was a safety lesson.
Yes.
Safety lessons are never a bad thing.
Yes. Kids, wear your helmet.
Kids, wear your helmet. Avoid Canadian geese. This has nothing to do with tariffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I was marching the Doodah parade, which we all know the Doodah parade. Well, if you don't know, if you're not from Columbus, Doodah parade is like a gathering of maniacs. It's the most wonderful thing on the planet. Everybody does what they want to do. There's no rules.
And it's on the 4th of July.
And it's on the 4th of July. Everybody celebrates independence their own way, and we do it really fun. So marching in the parade, and it was a little hungover. And we were still drinking, but a little hungover.
Sure.
Trying to chase it back, and it just didn't work. But we're like mid-route on the parade, and I did something where, I was already hot and sweaty because it's the hottest time ever. But I did something where I moved. I was holding a little banner up front. I did something, I moved, and I split my pants, which is and you're in the middle of the street, so you're like,
sure.
okay, I can't drop the banner.
Yeah.
I clearly can't drop the banner, but I'm not sure how far back the split goes either. So I'm like,
Were you also going commando?
no, thanks, sweet goodness. But it still wasn't the most pleasant of scenarios because I did, for some reason, have tidy whities on. I think it was like laundry, and the pants were white on top of that.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, this is clearly going to offset. You're going to see something black dangle real fast, and it's going to be real disturbing because there's children out here, and I'm like, I don't want to go to jail for this. like I don't want to go to jail trying to protest. And then thankfully my buddy Drew was behind us in a car. His vehicle's all painted.
Yeah.
So I just like slowly kind of back away from this. And I'm just like, let me just get in your car real quick. And I look, and I'm thankful because it split right back basically to the hole.
Wow.
I was like, oh, this, okay. So, yeah, apparently a good portion of maybe Columbus and the Buttles, Denison area, Goodale Park might have seen some terribleness of me. Hopefully no children saw anything.
Yeah.
It was not my intent. I just should wear bigger pants. Or should not stretch or move. That's it, really.
There you go. More lessons for the kids.
More lessons for the kids.
Yeah, wear your helmet. Don't split your pants.
Don't wear white pants at all, ever. There's no real need to wear white pants for anything. Like, we're not going to a Diddy White party or something. It's just gross. Ew. That is extra special now.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything about the Diddy White parties. Those are just gross now. Ew.
We'll see. The verdict's still out. The court case has not been settled.
Slippery slope.
He might be innocent.
Ew.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
What a time to be-
The worst timeline.
Right.
No.
Can we just get rid of the Geneva stuff and just move on? And the quicker we get to Mad Max, the more settled we'll all be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's kick over. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, Walker, I want to say thank you so much for being on this inaugural episode of
Thanks for having me.
the podcast here. Official name of the podcast is Los Mid Dudes. And as the kids know, mid is just mid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I hope I delivered an average experience.
Absolutely unspectacular. And that is exactly what we were looking for.
Thanks.
Never going over the top. No.
Yeah.
But, thank you for coming. Catch everybody. Columbus Comedy Festival, September 4th through the 7th. Here in Columbus, various venues, amazing talent, lots of fun. Check out Columbus Underground every time you get a chance. It is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's way better than that, Jugs magazine I read. I don't know why I read
That
it.
you read for the articles.
It's not even a current one. It's like 1987.
Yeah.
And it's purely for the articles. I don't know why I keep doing this. But yes, thank you very much for coming.
No problem.
Here to the wonderful Boxland Studios. Come check it out. All your podcasting needs, performance needs, great place. They let me in the front door, mind you. Very important in the spirit of Independence Day.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, thanks again for having me.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. Also, your bathroom at your house is phenomenal. I just want to keep saying that.
Oh, thanks.
Times. I've told my mom. I've told my aunt. It's I don't know. It's like the green subway tiling. It's just
yeah.
I'll never have a good bathroom.